Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.
PSC has streaming television services available in the Gigahood, delivered over our blazing fast fiber internet. Choose TV to fit your family's needs. Enjoy our basic package with all the local channels, or try the extended basic package with sports, news, music, and family entertainment. Download the Your TV Green app and use your Amazon Fire Stick to start watching today. Still need internet? Go to www.telcirco.com and choose the Connect Me button to complete the fiber connection form, and we'll take care of the rest.
The St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation is proud to support St. Mary's athletics. We invite you to become a member of the Alumni Foundation by checking out our website at www.mhsaf.com or checking us out on Facebook. Good luck, Riders.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, scholarships in education, Boy Scouts, oratorical, and shooting sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
And you're on.
Well, good evening, everyone, and we welcome you to Grand Lake Health Systems Court in St. Mary's, Ohio, as Rider Nation Station begins its winter sports broadcast schedule. As tonight, we bring you the game between the Lady Rough Riders of St. Mary's against the Lady Panthers of Parkway. I'm Joe Hurlbert. I'll be bringing you all the play-by-play action, and I'm joined in the booth tonight by Mike and Derek J. Mike, good to have you. Derek, good to have you as well. It seems like it wasn't too long ago we were just hanging up the headsets, but here we are, back again already.
We're back here in the fiery furnace up here.
There you go. There you go. Well, let's take a quick look at the Parkway Panthers. They've only played one game. They got one game under their belt. They lost that one to Crestview by a score of 54-23. Of course, they were battling some injuries with one of their star players, and hopefully she's back tonight. It'll give them a little boost.
Yeah, before we talk about this year's team, it might be fair to give a little bit of a history lesson here about Parkway.
Absolutely.
Under Coach Dan Williamson, they've really had a resurgence. Parkway, the 30 years I've been in this area, Parkway's been very much overall a bottom dweller in the MAC. But under Dan Williamson, they have had a real resurgence. 2 years ago, they went 20-3 and were MAC champs for the first time in school history. Yeah. Last year, they go 17-7, follow up the 20-3 with a 17-7, losing in the district semis to a very good OG team that eventually makes it to state. So what used to be a bottom dweller has become a very strong program under Williamson. So I think they're looking to continue those winning ways this year. He has 3 starters returning from last year's 17-7 team. He's got, most importantly, his point guard and his post is returning. His point guard's Brittany Bruns, who was honorable mention All-MAC. She only played a minute or two in the first game due to a stress fracture that she got in volleyball, but he hopes that she'll be back at full strength tonight. And he returns a second-team All-MAC post, Megan Hughes. Being second-team All-MAC as a freshman is quite an accomplishment, so you know she's quite a player. And give you a little genealogy on her. Her dad is the men's coach at Parkway, and her mom is Lynn Hughes, formerly Lynn Ben. If there's any St. Mary's people who know girls basketball history in this area, they'll recognize the name Lynn Ben. Lynn Ben was, in my opinion, the best Auglaize and Mercer County female basketball player maybe ever. Won 2 state championships with Fort Recovery. She's in the Xavier Hall of Fame. When she graduated, she was the all-time leading rebounder and number 3 scorer in school history. So there's some genealogy there. I'm looking forward especially to watching Hughes work, because she's got some great family genes.
And, of course, she's 5'10". She anchors that post, and as you mentioned, as a freshman, second-team All-MAC, so it'll be interesting to watch her.
She led him in that Crestview game with 12 points and 10 boards. Yeah. So the Riders are going to have to be concerned about her. The Riders are not a particularly big team, so keeping her off the boards is going to be very important.
For the Lady Rough Riders of Scott Jordan, they come in with a record of 2-1 on the season. Of course, Reese Rabel is a familiar name that will she's not afraid to shoot it. She's averaging about 12.3 points a game, but I'll tell you what, Sophia Menker is averaging 15 points a game, and she's a consistent player on the floor.
What a beginning she's had to the season. She's leading them in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. 15 points a game, 6.5 rebounds as a guard is very impressive. 3 assists a game and 3.7 steals a game. So she is very, very active and athletic. She's kind of showing why she was an all-Ohio soccer player, because her athleticism has really transitioned into this season. She's off to a great start leading the Riders.
Well, for the Rough Riders, they're not afraid to throw up the three-point goal. They've tossed up 68 three-pointers, made 17 for 25% shooting from three-point range, and of course they are about 41 of 86 from two-point range, which is 47.7%. But I think I think for St. Mary's, I think they depend a lot on their athleticism. I mean, they got athletes that they'll put on the floor that they may not be tall, but they're pretty quick.
Yeah, they have very quick guards that can shoot and drive. Very dependent on their guards to generate their offense. I think, talking about their shooting, I think Scott Jordan wants to play the transition game like they have been playing. Shooting 25% from three is not what he wants. In fact, talking to him before the game, he said we should be able to get that percentage up at least 10% by the end of the year. He's hoping that is just early season, off to a little bit of a cold start, that they'll heat up and shoot a better percentage from three as the season progresses.
Well, the girls started out with wins over Fairview and Elida, and then they lost in overtime to Kalida in a ball game that they jumped out to a big first quarter lead, and then they just kind of offense went south for quarters 2 and 3. I think they scored 11 in the fourth, and I think Claire Turner hit a three-point shot at the buzzer to send it in the overtime, and then they lost it in the overtime session.
I think that really, Scott Jordan was really disappointed in that loss. They commanded and controlled that game throughout, just got exceptionally cold from three and had trouble scoring in the last three quarters. Kind of gave that one to Kalida.
After tonight's ball game here at Grand Lake Health Systems Court, they'll be on the road, and they'll take their record to take on the Bath Wildcats. So that'll be a big test for them at Bath.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to get out to a 2-0 start in the WBL. The Riders have aspirations of competing for a WBL title, and based on what's returning in the league and what they have returning, it's realistic that they can certainly contend for a WBL title. Bath lost everybody from last year, and last I looked we're 0-2 overall. So it'd be nice to jump on Bath, not only because we don't particularly like Bath. We have a long, ugly history in girls basketball with Bath, but to get off to a good league start.
Well, just to let you know, some of the telecasts that Rider Nation Station has in the upcoming weeks, of course, on Thursday, we'll be bringing you boys wrestling against the Bath Wildcats from Grand Lake Health Systems Court. And then on Monday, December 9th, we'll be out at Varsity Lanes to bring you bowling against the Van Wert Cougars. Van Wert always has a good bowling program. Then on Tuesday and Thursday of next week, we'll be back here. On Tuesday, the girls will take on Allen East. On Thursday, they will take on their rival from across the lake, the Salina Bulldogs. Then on Tuesday, the 17th, they'll take on Fort Recovery. The girls will. And then on Thursday, the 19th, we'll have wrestling once again. Then on Friday, the boys enter the picture. They start this season with a long road trip before they come back home.
3 games before the first of the year.
Yep.
They're going to be the road warriors for a while.
So we'll pick them up on Friday the 20th back here at home against Defiance. On Saturday, girls basketball with Findlay. I think that's a noon tip-off. And then we'll round out December against the Spencerville Bearcats. The boys will be taking them on again on Friday the 27th. Those are some of the games that are taking place this month on Rider Nation Station. Again, if you want to keep up to date, subscribe to Rider Nation Station, and you'll get notifications as to when we will be doing our telecasts for high school basketball, wrestling, and even bowling. Right now they're asking the crowd to rise to their feet for the national anthem. We're going to take a step away. We'll be back with the starting lineups right after this.
St. Mary's traditions include football, SMAB, and Fowler's TV. Founded in 1957 by Richard and Peggy, Fowler's TV is celebrated, like a Rough Rider First Down, for its dedication to high-quality electronics, custom installations of indoor and outdoor TVs, Sonos sound systems, surveillance systems, and so much more. With 12 months of special financing available on approved credit, shopping local has never been better. Fowler's knowledgeable and friendly staff uphold the tradition of exceptional customer care, servicing only what they sell with the same or next day service.
I don't always put a new roof on my house, but when I do, I call Eric Anderson with Grand Lake Roofing.
If you're looking for a fast, reliable, trustworthy roofing service, give myself and my team a call at Grand Lake Roofing, 567-890-ROOF.
We are back in Grand Lake Health Systems Court. Joe Hurlbert alongside Mike and Derek J. Girls basketball, and of course, I want to make mention that this is just a varsity-only contest. There is no JV in this particular game tonight. That's why we have a 6 p.m. tip-off. So,
unfortunately, Joe, that's becoming more and more of a common occurrence around the area. It's the schools are having a hard time getting enough athletes out to have a varsity and a JV. It's kind of sad, in my opinion.
And I think when you talk to some of the officials, it's even difficult to get officials to do games as well. So it is. It's unfortunate, but that's the times we live in, I guess. And so, unfortunately, that's the case here tonight, as there is just a varsity-only game. So right now they're going to introduce the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. We'll check them for you as they are introduced. You recognize the three officials by any chance?
None of the three, and that's almost never happens to me after coaching for 20 years. I do not know. My guess is they're Dayton area officials. Usually when I don't know them, they're either they come from Dayton or maybe Toledo. But I usually know most of the Toledo guys.
Number 3, Britton Bruns, 5'5" junior, has been introduced, as number 12, Cammie Langenkamp, just a sophomore. Megan Hughes, 5'10" sophomore, is being introduced.
She's their leading scorer and rebounder.
Callie Bolenbacher and Adria Miller.
So they have 2 young posts, 2 sophomore posts, and then 3 upper-class guards for the Panthers.
Sophie Manker's been introduced, 5'7" junior. Well, I'm sure Scott Jordan is.
Logan Henson in the post, undersized but very aggressive post player.
Reese Rabel. Sophia Menker, Cadence Hirschfeld, Lauren Jacobs, Logan Henson, and Reese Rabel. I'm sure you'll see Audrey Reinecke and both Claire Turner off the bench. So the Rough Riders will go 7, maybe 8 deep. Not really.
Claire's been off to a little bit of a slow start. She had an injury in soccer, ankle injury in soccer, that's kind of led to a slow start. But she's averaging 6 points and 6 boards and has played less than half a game. So
really?
I think as she gets healthy, she could become one of our leading scorers and board people.
Official tosses it up. The ball is controlled by the Parkway Lady Panthers. Miller with the basketball. Give it to Hughes. Well, she's a big girl that already can handle it out front. Bolenbacher back to Hughes. Bolenbacher shoots it up, hits nothing. Ball loose. Rebound comes down to Miller. She goes up with reverse, rolls around, and falls through. So the Parkway Lady Panthers on the board first on the American Legion scoreboard.
Parkway shot very, very poorly in their opener against Crestview, only shooting 28% from the field. against Crestview's aggressive 2-3 zone.
Menker has the ball knocked out of bounds. It will still be St. Mary's ball.
I think it's definitely an advantage for St. Mary's being their 4th game, and this is only the 2nd for Parkway.
Ball is stolen. Shot up and in by
I think a lot of
Britton
coaches
Bruns.
will tell you the biggest improvement all season will be from game 1 to game 2.
Yeah. Jacobs. Menker. Henchen. Reese Rabel thought about a 3, pulled it down, ball loose. And we've got she stepped on the
sideline?
Yep, stepped on the sideline. So the turnover will give the ball back to the Lady Panthers, who lead on the American Legion scoreboard by a 4-0 score. Bruns with the basketball.
Bruns only played a couple minutes against Crestview. She's normally their starting point guard.
3-point shot is made by Bolenbacher. So the Panthers up with a 7-0 run.
As soon as I point out how poorly they shot in the first game, they nailed their first 3 shots.
Menker, Henchen. Far side it goes to Hirschfeld. Rabel. Jacobs drives right side, goes up off the glass. Nope, won't go. Rebound comes down to Langenkamp. Here comes Britton Bruns. Crossover dribble, give it to Hughes. Bolenbacher drives the paint, goes up off the window, won't go. Rebound comes down and is stolen back by Hughes. Ball loose, picked up by Hirschfeld.
The Riders are going to look to outlet fast and work it up the court. I think the Lady Riders have a substantial quickness advantage tonight.
Sophia Menker with a running one-hander off the glass, rolls in. She has the Rough Riders' first 2 points, 5:35 remaining here in the first quarter. Hughes puts it down, goes into paint, goes up with a
nice runner. Nice runner by the big girl.
Gets
nice
her
penetration.
own rebound, kicks it back out. To Bolenbacher, she missed it. Here comes Menker with the basketball. Rabel, back to Menker. Rabel, she's going to launch a 3. Nope. Bounces around, Nope. Rebound comes to Henchen. Back out to Menker for 3. Nope, that won't go. Rebound comes down to Megan Hughes. Bruns goes up off the window and 2 more.
Ankle looks a lot better tonight.
I don't always put
9-2 on the American Legion scoreboard. Ball knocked out of bounds by Megan Hughes.
I'd have to think Bruns' injury had a lot to do with that 30-point loss to Crestview. This team does not look like a team that is going to lose by 30 to anybody, no matter what quality of the opponent. Riders bringing some size into the game. Sophomores Turner and Reinke.
Reinke with the basketball. Give it to Turner, back to Menker.
The majority of Menker's 15 points a game have been creative drives to the basket. She's a good ball handler, kind of a shifty offensive player. She's struggled from 3 this year. She's 1 for her first 11. When she puts the 3 together with her drive, she could be quite lethal. 3 by Rabel.
Reese Rabel hits a 3-point goal. That'll get you back in the ball game in a hurry.
Claire Turner with a steal. Dishes to Jacobs.
And just like that, Riders find themselves down by 2, 9-7.
Parkway turned the ball over 20 times.
And there's another turnover. Menker off the glass, and the Riders have tied this ball game
pretty quick.
He wants them to get down the floor, clear the floor a little bit. Let his guards work and break this. Stolen again. And ball loose on the floor. Miller comes up with it, gives the ball to Bruns.
Boy, he has confidence. I would be in his players. I would be getting a timeout.
Left-handed shot up is no good as it was put up by Shane Levin.
Three quick turnovers in less than 45 seconds. It's got the Riders back in the game quickly. Kendall Davis subbed in for Hirschfeld in that break.
Rabel. Davis.
Kendall's a sophomore backup point guard.
Shot put up by
Lauren Jacobs for
Lauren
three.
Jacobs.
It's a good sign. The Riders have been cold the last couple games from three. Get off to a hot start, get some confidence.
Ball is stolen by Kendall Davis. She's right place, right time. Reese Rabel with the basketball, looking for Claire Turner. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Parkway.
Another
Ball
steal
stolen
by Davis.
Well, right now the turnovers are the bugaboo for the Parkway Lady Panthers. They've really allowed the Rough Riders to get back into this ball game and now have a 2-point lead, or a three-point lead. Davis, Jacobs, lob it down into Reineke. Ball stolen. Not a particularly good pass.
Not a good angle, going from across the court, a little too far. Been nice to reverse the ball and try to get that pass instead of going cross court.
Got a whistle before the shot. Foul's going to be on Kendall Davis, her first, team first.
Riders go to their usual 2-3 zone out of bounds. Protecting the inside, especially with a short lineup.
Shane Leben with the basketball, give it to Hughes.
I'd love to see the big girl that can handle the ball like that. Can tell she's a daughter of two coaches.
Yep. Bruns, cross court over to Hughes. One dribble, shot up, nope, misses it. Rebound comes down to Minker. Oh, that's not Minker. Yeah, it is Minker. And we got a double dribble. Another turnover. Derek, how many turnovers does Parkway have? It's
4 turnovers for Parkway, 5 for St. Mary's. So
wow,
turnovers aplenty here in the first quarter.
First team to clean it up could get out to a nice lead.
What sticks out is Parkway's turnovers came in like bunches.
Yes,
like
flurry.
three right away.
And led to points.
And all led to buckets.
Yeah. Henshin, Davis, Turner. Minker drives, turns around, shot up. Nope, that won't go. Rebound comes down to Colby Smith.
Bruns gets him in their offensive set against the man.
Hughes in the corner, guarded by Henshin. Picked up the dribble, she needs some help. Bruns puts it on the floor. Shane Leben with it, crossover dribble. Give it back to Bruns. Spin move in the paint, goes up with a shot. Nope, won't go. Rebound comes down to Hughes. Bruns is going to launch a three. Nope, it's too hard off the back of the iron, and Davis comes down with the basketball. Give it to Sophie Minker. Riders are coming the other way.
This is
down to 25 seconds here in the first quarter.
Coach Jordan going to call, I think he's going to call a verbal here maybe. Try to get the last shot of the quarter. I wouldn't advise doing that. Keep the momentum on your side.
7 seconds. Minker.
5. Oop.
And we have a blocking foul called on.
Riders basically cleared out that whole side of the floor and let Sophie Minker go to work. Sophie was an All-Ohio, first-team All-Ohio soccer player this year. Get her in space and let her use her athleticism and get to the rack. She has good handle, good shake. She's a deceptive offensive player.
Very athletic. Under their own basket, Minker looks in. Shot put up by Davis. Nope, won't go, and that's the end of the first quarter with the score on the American Legion scoreboard. The St. Mary's Rough Riders 12, the Lady Panthers of Parkway 9. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spies and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spies Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spies Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
I'm Larry Gruber, longtime educator and St. Mary's wrestling coach. If you're in need for any electrical upgrades, whether big or small, for your business or home, reach out to Sean Barnett Electrical at 567-259-8343. Wondering what it would cost to have a generator for your home or business? Contact Sean Barnett Electrical for a complimentary estimate for installation and yearly maintenance. Trying to do electrical work on your own can be shocking and painful. Yow! I'm in Sean's corner, and Sean will be in yours for all your electrical needs.
We're back.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Court, Joe Hurlbert along with Mike and Derek J. Derek, got some numbers for us?
Yeah, first quarter, obviously those turnovers, as we mentioned, key for both teams, turning it over way too much. But other key stat, Riders have given up 4 offensive rebounds so far in the game. Haven't necessarily led to anything for the Panthers, but something definitely needs to be cleaned up.
Reese Rabel turns around and launches a 3. Rebound comes down to Hirschfeld. Shot up. Nope, won't go. Rebound comes down to Colby Smith of the Lady Panthers. She'll give it up to Callie Bollenbacher, and she'll bring it across the 10-second line. Shot goes up by Parkway, won't go. Ryder's very fortunate there. It looked like the defender just left her and then went somewhere else, and she had an open shot. Ball didn't go in, so the Rough Riders have the basketball coming the other direction. Jacobs, not a good decision there. Turnover will give it back to Parkway. Miller,
nice pass.
Nice pass.
Shot up by Smith, won't go. Ball last touched by the Rough Riders. Couple of substitutions. Minker comes back in, as does Megan Hughes.
Guards just love that, Joe, when they make a nice drive. Make a beautiful pass. Leave that player wide open, and the post player blows it. Blows your assist.
It does. Hughes goes in. Strong move, gets her own rebounds. Nice left-handed shot. Is that her first 2 of the game?
It is her first points of the game.
Yep, she was their leading scorer with 15. She had 15 of their 23 points against Crestview. In fact, against Crestview, only 3 players scored for Parkway.
Here comes Parkway with the basketball.
I think Coach Jordan has brought Reineke into the game to try to neutralize a little bit of that rebounding problem in the first quarter, try to give him a little more size.
Reineke does come up with the rebound.
She comes up with a rebound there.
Here comes Rabel. We got a jump ball on the floor. The possession arrow points Parkway's way.
Rider guards are getting a little too deep, getting a little too close to the rim when there's traffic, and they've been getting stuck, getting balls deflected, getting tied up. Need to maybe pull up, shoot a jump shot, or maybe pass a little quicker.
Britton Bruns with the basketball. Takes it in the paint, goes up.
Really nice pass
to Hughes.
Really nice pass.
Well, it looked like a shot to me that just kind of rolled off the defender's hands, but anyhow, Megan Hughes with an easy 2. Minker to Rabel, right side, far side it goes. Claire Turner for 3, got it. Fowler TV, 3-point goal by Claire Turner.
Claire's 2 out of 3 on the season from 3, shooting a really good percentage. She has a nice looking jump shot.
Shot put up, won't go by Parkway. Rebound comes down. Shot put up by Miller. Rolls around, won't go. Here comes Rabel with the basketball. Give it to Hirschfeld. Turner. Reese Rabel thought about a 3.
Joe, you'll never guess who has the best 3-point shooting percentage on St. Mary's. The girl with the ball right now.
Really?
Audrey Reineke's 2 for 2 from 3.
Let her shoot. Minker drops it down. Nice pass. Oh, Claire just missed the easy two.
I think Claire was surprised at how open she was on that one.
Here comes Britton Bruns with the basketball. Guarded by Turner. Bounce pass down into Hughes. Spin. Left-hand shot goes up and in. That's a nice move.
Very nice left. Very nice left hand on a weak hand. Nice half hook. Daughter of a coach.
Yep. We're tied at 15 on the American Legion scoreboard. Turner in the corner. Nice pass down low. It goes to Reineke.
Reineke fumbled the pass. A very good pass by Turner.
Can't handle it. Here comes Bolenbacher with the basketball. She'll give it off to Megan Nichols, who's in the ball game, number 14. Shot up, won't go, and we got a whistle and a foul. It's going to be on Cadence Hirschfeld.
Riders didn't have anybody boxing out on the weak side there. Gave up a rebound.
Both teams have gone pretty deep on the bench. The Lady Panthers have brought 3 in off the bench. The Lady Riders have brought 4 in off the bench.
Traditionally, a lot of teams will play a little more people at the beginning of the year, searching for good combinations.
Chemistry.
And then as the season goes, sometimes you'll trim off some of those players and go with your best crew.
Free throw is no good. Here comes the Lady Riders. In the corner it goes. Rabel, nice pass. It goes to Turner.
Nice assist by Reese Rabel.
2 points by Claire Turner.
Turner made sure she made that layup.
Yeah, she did. That was a turnover, a travel on Parkway. Lady Riders will have the basketball. 3:39 left to go here in the first half. Lady Riders up by 2 on the American Legion scoreboard. Reese Rabel. Henshin. Rabel for 3. No, hits nothing. Rebound's going to be on Sophie Menker.
Got Sophie Menker over the back there. Going after the rebound. Riders set up the press. It's one good thing about that foul. It does allow them to set up their full court pressure, which has yielded some good results here in the first half.
Lauren Jacobs checks back into the ball game. Sophie Menker will have a seat.
We got a really quick team for the Riders on the floor.
And they're going to press the Panthers and force them into some more turnovers, and hopefully they'll be able to capitalize on the turnovers. And we've got a Sean Barnett electrical timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick 30-second break. We'll be right back. There they go.
Albert Sporting Goods, outfitting your team since 1980. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. We personalize your gear with embroidery, screen printing, digitizing and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
American Legion scoreboard, 3:07 remaining here in the first half. Joe Hurlbert, Mike, and Derek J. Rider Nation Station. Glad to have you along wherever you may be watching tonight. That ball is sailing out of bounds. So another turnover bites the Parkway Panthers in the tail.
Sloppy first half on both sides.
8 turnovers for St. Mary's, 6 for Parkway.
Will not make the coach happy. That'll be addressed at halftime, I'm sure, by both coaches.
Lauren Jacobs, top of the key with the basketball, gives it to Rabel. Rabel picks up the dribble.
Tried to set up a backdoor play there. Parkway didn't bite.
Shot put up by Turner. Nope, off the back of the iron. Rebound fought for underneath. We should have a jump ball.
Should be Rider ball.
It is. St. Mary's will have the basketball underneath their own basket.
Logan Hinchin is not tall. She's very, very undersized post player, but she is feisty.
She's physical.
She's very physical. She roots her way in there. She's not afraid to push and scrap.
Reese Rabel hits the front of the iron with her three-point attempt. Won't go. Here comes Megan Hughes with the basketball.
Megan Hughes is a matchup nightmare when you got a near 6-foot girl out front. Long, tall, can also dribble and drive. That's a tough matchup.
Hughes is going to launch a three. Got it.
She has an impressive skill set. Post up, shooting the left-hand jump hook. She's driven the ball and scored. She shot a three. That's
brought the ball up the floor.
She'll be a first-team All-MAC player this year, without a doubt.
Jacobs with the basketball.
She's going to score a lot of points in her career.
Shot doesn't go. Rebound comes down to the hands of Adria Miller. She'll give it off to Britton Bruns.
Riders are getting a little three happy here, I think. Taking a lot of threes.
They have a significant speed advantage. Maybe like to see them do a little more driving. I think you're right, Derek. When you're hitting the three, it's fine. But when you're cold,
take it to the rim.
Take it to the rack.
Yep.
Parkway's got some girls that are quite a bit bigger and heavier than us. It'd be nice to get them in space and drive them.
So a traveling violation. We'll give the ball back to the Lady Riders. 1:25 remaining here in the first half. Minker back in the ball game. Gives it to Turner. Far side it goes to Hirschfeld. Jacobs. Claire Turner runs it down. Minker. Guarded by Bruns. Reinecke. Oh. Bodies on the floor. No whistle. Claire Turner's down. We should have another jump ball, and this one will belong to the Parkway Panthers. 56.2 seconds remaining here in the first half. Lady Panthers up by 1, 18-17 on your American Legion scoreboard. Panthers are not in any hurry. Oh, ball kicked around. Picked up by the Panthers. Shot put up and is good.
Shane Leben, three.
Shane Leben. Minker behind the back dribble, gives it to Turner. Turner looking underneath, goes to Reinecke. Back out to Minker, to Turner.
Sophia's really been held below her average. They've given her a lot of attention.
Jacobs goes up with a shot, won't go. Rebound comes down to Hughes. Stolen by Jacobs. Good job defensively there. Another turnover by the Panthers.
8 seconds. Do they know it?
I don't know. Reinecke with it. Shot goes up and is good by Hirschfeld at the buzzer. A Fowler TV three-point goal by the Rough Riders. And that's the end of the first half. With the score on the American Legion scoreboard, the Lady Panthers 20, the Lady Riders 19. We'll be back right after this.
Looking for the perfect gift for your man, son, or dad? Jackalope Stash Men's Clothing Store in downtown St. Mary's will help you score the perfect gift. At this haberdashery, you will find stylish formal and informal wear, along with the most fashionable and contemporary accessories. Not sure what to get your leading man? Stop in and purchase the Jackalope Stash gift card. Make your man the best dressed in the room, no matter the occasion. Quality, style, stash. That's Jackalope Stash. We're right.
And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Rough Rider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Rough Riders football game, streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sports.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
I don't always put a new roof on my house, But when I do, I call Eric Anderson with Grand Lake Roofing.
If you're looking for a fast, reliable, trustworthy roofing service, give myself and my team a call at Grand Lake Roofing, 567-890-ROOF.
The St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation is proud to support St. Mary's athletics. We invite you to become a member of the Alumni Foundation by checking out our website at www.mhsaf.com or checking us out on Facebook. Good luck, Riders.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, scholarships in education, Boy Scouts, oratorical, and shooting sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their three-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
I'm Larry Gruber, longtime educator and St. Mary's wrestling coach. If you're in need for any electrical upgrades, whether big or small, for your business or home, reach out to Sean Barnett Electrical at 567-259-8343. Wondering what it would cost to have a generator for your home or business? Contact Sean Barnett Electrical for a complimentary estimate for installation and yearly maintenance. Trying to do electrical work on your own can be shocking and painful. Wow! I'm in Sean's corner, and Sean will be in yours for all your electrical needs.
St. Mary's traditions include football, SMAB, and Fowler's TV. Founded in 1957 by Richard and Peggy, Fowler's TV is celebrated, like a Rough Rider first down, for its dedication to high-quality electronics, custom installations of indoor and outdoor TVs, Sonos sound systems, surveillance systems, and so much more. With 12 months of special financing available on approved credit, shopping local has never been better. Fowler's knowledgeable and friendly staff uphold the tradition of exceptional customer care, servicing only what they sell with the same or next day service.
Albert Sporting Goods, outfitting your team since 1980. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. We personalize your gear with embroidery, screen printing, digitizing and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
And you're back.
All righty, we welcome you back. We are at halftime at Grand Lake Health Systems Court in St. Mary's, Ohio. Rider Nation Station bringing you this game between the Lady Riders of St. Mary's and the Lady Panthers of Parkway. We're tied at halftime on the American Legion scoreboard 20-20. And let's take a look at some of the numbers. Derek?
Well, as you said, tie score. So Riders with 20 points led by Lauren Jacobs with 5 points. Really rounded out scoring here. Sophia Manker with 4, Reese Rabel with 3. Oh, and I guess Claire Turner down here at the bottom's got 5 points as well. So real balance, but Parkway's done a nice job. Got to give them a lot of credit. Taking Reese Rabel kind of out of the game, kind of forced her into some deep threes. She hasn't been able to get anything off besides 3-point shots. Riders 4 of 13 from 3, 30%. The Riders have attempted 23 total field goals, 13 of which have been behind the 3-point line, which kind of harkens back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago with the Riders, I thought, getting a little 3 happy, taking a little too much from the perimeter, not getting into the lane quite as well, especially with some players like Sophia Manker, Cadence Hirschfeld, Claire Turner. players that can get into the lane, get past their man, and cause a little havoc by getting in the paint off the dribble. Haven't been doing that much. It's been mostly shooting threes. As we've mentioned several times, turnovers still an issue. 9 total turnovers for the Riders there in the first half. Parkway was led, no surprise here, by Megan Hughes with 9 points. Scoreless in the first quarter, but 9 in the second quarter. She's 4 of 8 from the field. Parkway 9 of 23 from the field for 40%, 3 of 8. I guess it'd be 3 of 7 from 3. We had a little stats mishap. After Megan Hughes, then led by Britton Bruns, who, while only has 4 points, does also have 4 assists. She's done a real nice job getting in the paint in addition to other players. Callie Bollenbacher with 3, Bryn Shane Leben with 3, and then Adria Miller with 2. Another big stat for the Panthers, they do have 6 offensive rebounds. Kind of an ongoing issue, at least from last year into this year. Riders dealt with a lot of teams really hurting them on the offensive glass, and that kind of came back. And first quarter, I thought there were several offensive rebounds, didn't lead to points. A couple in the second quarter that did. So something the Riders need to clean up, obviously, besides the turnovers and I think getting in the lane a little more.
Mike, anything you got to add?
Well, I know Scott Jordan's got to be looking for some ways, or at least I would be looking for some ways to get Reese Rabel and Sophia Menker gone. Scoring-wise, they average 27 points a game between the two of them, and they have 7 at half. So I would be looking for ways to try to get those two gone. And like Derek said, I would strongly encourage people to do a little more driving. Let's try to get some easy points at the free throw line. You know, when Derek J is asking somebody to take less threes, that it must be a problem. This is someone,
that's right.
This is someone who made a living.
Who lived.
He made a living back there at the
did,
three-point line. If he's telling you to take less threes,
exactly,
it must be an issue.
Exactly. You know, we don't do rules of the game in basketball like we do football, but I'll ask you both. Is there any new rule changes that we can expect to 2024, 2025 as far as basketball is concerned?
I'm not aware of any this year.
Yeah, I don't think there are any that I'm aware of. Last year we had the foul thing that was new.
Changing to the 5 fouls each quarter before you get into.
Forgot about that.
Before you get into
1-and-1
free throws. Two.
There's double bonus.
There's no 1-on-1s anymore. Yep. But I do not know of any major rule changes this year.
That's kind of rare. Something always seems to change along the way, even if it's a minor thing. But nonetheless, no changes. It's a good thing. All righty, the St. Mary's Lady Rough Riders out on the floor. You'll see a little bit of our first half instant replay, which is brought to you by Jackalope Stash. Glad to have them along for our instant replay. Of course, here comes the Lady Panthers, and the Lady Riders will have the basketball to start the second half. Hirschfeld will give the ball over to Rabel.
Parkway comes out in a man-to-man, sagging man-to-man.
Ball stolen away quickly by Lady Panthers. Langenkamp with the basketball. Give it back out the top to Miller. Back to Langenkamp. Bruns.
I'm sure Coach Jordan's not happy in having more turnovers than Parkway, and we're a very guard-heavy team. Hopefully the Riders clean that up in the second half.
Hughes, spin move in the paint. Shot put up. She lost the handle of it. It looked like a pass, but actually she lost the handle of it. And Adria Miller was right there, but she missed a shot. Rabel over to Lauren Jacobs. Cadence Hirschfeld, Henschen. Oh, she walked. 2 trips down the floor, 2 turnovers for the Lady Riders.
Never assume that girl's going to be open. She made an assumption on the top.
Killer with a lot of the Riders' turnovers. A lot of them unforced, like that unforced turnover. Some of Parkway's have been in the press. Some of those are going to happen.
Bollenbacher with a 3, won't go. Rebound comes down to Langenkamp. Ball taken away by Henschen.
Logan said, I think I'll take that ball from you.
Rabel's going to launch a three-pointer. Nope, won't go. Rebound. Hughes had it. She lost it. Goes right into the hands of Britton Bruns. Here comes the Panthers the other way. Bolenbacher with the basketball. Crossover dribble. Give it to Langenkamp in the paint.
Traveled,
and she traveled. Turnover, Parkway. Kind of seems
referees
to me like
have done a nice job.
They have. It kind of seems to me like they're playing out of control. I mean,
sloppy turnovers.
Yeah. And it's early in the season.
Yeah.
And a lot of things to clean up, a long season. So
a couple of those could use a good jump stop.
Yeah. Jacobs with the basketball to Hirschfeld. Manker. Rabel for three. Nope, won't go. Rebound comes down into the hands of Callie Bolenbacher. She's coming the other direction with it. Nobody has scored yet here in the third quarter. 5:35 remaining. Shot put up and is good by Callie Bolenbacher. You'll see it there on our Jackalope Stash instant replay. Nobody just picked her up. It was easy off the glass in two. Manker in the paint. I don't think that's where you want to go. Here comes Bolenbacher with the basketball. She's got on the side, nice defense there by Cadence Hirschfeld. It goes out of bounds.
Good hustle by Cadence, getting back in the play.
Audrey Reinecke checks into the ball game, as does Claire Turner.
Bringing in the sophomore size.
Bolenbacher will trigger it in. The Bruns to Hughes in the paint. Shot goes up off the glass. Nope, won't go. Rebound comes down to Reinecke. Hirschfeld, Rabel. Hirschfeld for three. Nope, rims out, won't go. Rebound comes down to Bolenbacher. She'll give it to Bruns. She'll walk it across the timeline.
Riders kind of continuing my complaint with their offense in the first half. They're taking a bunch more threes.
Bruns with a running one-hander, won't go. Rebound, loose, fought on underneath, comes up. Turner has it. Rabel to Manker. Manker's behind the back dribble, goes up with a scoop shot. Nope, won't go. Nice try. She saves the shot, goes up. Reinecke up, got it.
Nice assist, Claire Turner. Found Reinecke open on the weak side for easy two.
Riders going to press. They
really caused trouble in the first half. Sure, a substantial amount of the halftime talk was consumed by how to deal with the Riders' press.
Yep. Shot put up and missed. Here comes the Riders. Here comes Sophie Minker with it.
Problem for St. Mary's, they haven't scored much in the last about quarter.
Right.
And you can't set your press up if you don't score.
3:47 remaining here in the third quarter. 2 points scored by each team. So just 2 baskets scored. Turner down low. Shot put up. Nope. It wasn't put up. Was knocked away.
Kind of blocked on the way. Blocked on the way up.
Down low goes to Miller. Shot put up by Colby Smith. Got a whistle and a foul.
Going to get Reinecke on the reach in on the shot.
She didn't need to. She has a huge height advantage on Colby Smith there. If she'd have gone straight up, probably would have blocked it anyways.
First shot up is good. She'll get one more. Second shot up is good. (24-22) on the American Legion scoreboard.
Riders have been as cold as the weather is outside here in the start of the third.
Kendall Davis in the ball game. Claire Turner, Davis, Rabel. Boy, the Parkway defense is keeping the Rider offense out beyond the arc.
Doing a nice job on closeouts. Closing out under control, getting high hand. That means a well-coached team.
Shot put up by Reinecke. Nope, won't go. Rebound Hughes. That's exactly what the defense wanted him to do.
That was Aubrey's first miss from three. She was 2 for 2 prior to that shot.
Hughes goes down off the glass.
Yeah, it's Audrey does not have the foot speed to keep up with Hughes. Hughes is a mismatch nightmare. A big girl who can drive to the hole.
Rabel triple team, ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Megan Hughes. It'll be St. Mary's ball. Here comes a trio of substitutions in for the Riders. Sophia Manker, Lauren Jacobs, and Logan Henschen. St. Mary's ball. Sophia Manker will trigger it in. Lob it into Claire Turner. Jacobs drives, goes up, blocked by Hughes, and there's a foul on Claire Turner. I was just thinking, when they going to call that?
Claire may have had a little bit of assault and battery charge on that one. If she wasn't going to call it, there might have been a policeman come in from the side.
Lady Panthers up by 4 with 1:56 remaining here in the third quarter from Grand Lake Health Systems Court. Bruns, cross court it goes to Shane Levin. Shot put up, won't go. Rebound comes down to Logan Henschen. Here comes Sophia Menker. Riders coming the other way.
Britton Bruns has really good feet. She's given Sophia Menker a lot of trouble.
She's not going for Sophie's, does a lot of ball fakes and head fakes, trying to shake loose, and Britton Bruns is having no part of it. She's a good athlete.
We've got a Sean Barnett electrical timeout called on the floor with 1:25 remaining in the third. Panthers up 26-22. We'll be back right after this.
St. Mary's Rider Rooters has been a pillar of support for all St. Mary's athletes for well over 40 years. Our current membership drive is ongoing, and it has its perks. Consider joining in support of the St. Mary's athletes. Join us at the game or scan the QR code. Go Riders!
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's, proud to support Rough Rider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Rough Riders football game, streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, drinks, sports.
I don't always put a new roof on my house, but when I do, I call Eric Anderson with Grand Lake Roofing.
If you're looking for a fast, reliable, trustworthy roofing service, give myself and my team a call at Grand Lake Roofing, 567-890-ROOF.
And you're live.
1:25 remaining here in the third quarter. Joe Hurlbert, Mike J., Derek J., Rider Nation Station, glad to have you along. Girls high school basketball on a Tuesday night as we start the winter sports schedule off here on Rider Nation Station. Shot put up by Bruns. Nope, won't go. Ball knocked out of bounds by Colby Smith. The Rough Riders will have it. Boy, it's like a revolving door over at the scorer's table for the Riders. They're just running them in and running them out.
Kind of like hockey line shifts.
I know. You have to do it on the fly.
See if somebody can hit a shot and break the icy streak of shooting by the Riders.
Turner, Hirschfeld.
It's very reminiscent of the Kalida game where Riders' offense just ground to a complete halt.
Ball stolen by Bruns. She's going to wait for the troops to get down. Kick it over to Miller.
See if they come over here and get Hughes in an ISO.
30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Riders in 2-3.
Hughes has the basketball. Miller shot put up by Smith, no good. Here comes the Riders. Shot put up, missed by Rabel. Fighting for it, and it's going to be traveling violation called against the Riders. I'll explain that to our viewers. Why would that be a travel? Did her feet come off the floor, or what are they looking for?
In general, if you roll around, as soon as you drag your foot or move both feet, they're going to call it travel.
Okay.
If you can keep your foot down on the ground, not try to get up, not move that foot, you'll be okay. I think it was the rollover and moved both feet that got her in trouble. Lauren Jacobs very, very good. She's close to a 10-point.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. I was watching for a 10-second call, and the next thing you know, that's the end of the third quarter with the score on the American Legion scoreboard. The Parkway Lady Panthers 26, St. Mary's Lady Rough Riders 22. We'll be back with the final quarter right after this.
Looking for the perfect gift for your man, son, or dad? Jackalope Stashman's clothing store in downtown St. Mary's will help you score the perfect gift. At this haberdashery, you will find stylish formal and informal wear, along with the most fashionable and contemporary accessories. Not sure what to get your leading man? Stop in and purchase the Jackalope Stash gift card. Make your man the best dressed in the room, no matter the occasion. Quality, style, stash. That's Jackalope Stash, where riders shop.
And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet. Back for the final 8 minutes here at Grand Lake Health Systems Court. 26-22. Lady Riders trail by 4. Derek, not a good quarter for the Lady Riders.
No, just way too many threes. They're shooting 4 of 18 from 3, 22%. Only scoring 2 points that quarter. Need to get some movement away from the ball, set some better screens, not try to rush through their offense so much. They're kind of blowing through their screens instead of taking their time analyzing things. If you do those things, you can get some points.
Scott Jordan's made a little defensive adjustment here at the quarter break. He came out in a 1-3-1. Looks like maybe a trapping type half-court defense. I like that. If you're not scoring, you can't get into full-court press, but you can come down in the half-court and get into a trapping type defense. The Riders need to speed this game up. If we let Parkway just reverse the ball and pass it around, they've got too many mismatches, I think, for us.
Nice pass by Hughes, shot no good. Rebound comes down to Jacobs.
But having said that, we've only surrendered 26 points at the end of the third quarter. Defense isn't our problem.
True.
Sometimes when you're behind, you overanalyze and think we got to try something else defensively. I think he's trying to trap to let his defense generate offense to try to break the ice.
Well, I think Parkway's defense is doing a great job of not letting St. Mary's penetrate into the paint. They're keeping them out beyond the arc, and of course, like Derek said, Riders not shooting very well from beyond the arc, so if you're going to live by the three, you'll die by the three because they're not getting any penetration inside.
Well, and what you don't often think about is that if you drive, it will lead to better threes. You know, it's a little counterintuitive, but if you keep doing nothing but chuck threes and don't penetrate, your threes will then get harder.
They get more contested. Or throwing into the post and then kicking it out to a three often can get you more quality looks. Most of our threes tonight have had hands in their face.
Rabel drives. Manker's going to launch a three, rolls around, will not go. Rebound comes down to Megan Hughes.
Megan Hughes is going to end up with a double-double tonight if she hasn't that one already.
8 boards.
8 boards. A couple more boards and she'll have a double-double. She's going to get a lot of double-doubles this season. She's an impressive player. Only a sophomore.
Langenkamp to Bruns. Shane Leben. Miller rolls around. Nope, will not go. Here comes Reese Rabel with the basketball. One against three. She's going to take it to the hole, and we got a foul called.
There we go, draw a foul.
On Cammie Langenkamp, 5'8" sophomore. You see it there on our Jackalope Stash instant replay.
Fans from Rockford were not happy with that call. Like the Parkway fans thought that was a jump ball. I think she got Reese a little bit with the body.
Free throw falls in.
Free throws have been a real bugaboo for the Riders. Again, continuing what they started last year. They were they were shooting 48% as a team from the free throw line. They were sub 50% last year from the free throw line. Sometimes all it takes is a couple people start hitting them.
Yep.
Jinxed her.
Rabel hits one of two. Riders still trail by 3. Megan Hughes with the basketball. And we've got a timeout called on the floor with 5:25 remaining. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, scholarships in education, Boy Scouts, oratorical, and shooting sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
Albert Sporting Goods, outfitting your team since 1980. Our products consist of individual and team equipment for all community organizations, club teams, high school and collegiate sports. We personalize your gear with embroidery, screen printing, digitizing and graphic design with on-site services to deliver quality uniforms, spirit wear, and fulfill every equipment need. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com.
We're back.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Court. Here comes the Lady Panthers with the basketball. Shot up, no good, won't go. Here comes Reinecke, and she throws it away right into the hands of Cammie Langenkamp.
I think a coach would tell the point guard that she gave the ball to Audrey too early. Audrey's not used to dribbling out on the perimeter. It would have been nice to give a couple more dribbles, and so all Audrey had to do was lay it in.
3-point shot put up and good by Bryn Shane Leben.
That's a big turnaround right there.
Yeah, it is.
Had a breakaway for 2 and then give up a 3 on the other end.
Kendall Davis with the basketball. Give it over to Audrey Reinecke.
Suddenly the Riders face a 6-point deficit.
Blocking foul is going to be called on Britton Bruns. Rabel will throw it in to Cadence Hirschfeld.
Not a lot of offensive firepower on the floor for the Riders here. It's going to be interesting to see how they generate offense with this particular combination.
Ball knocked away from Hirschfeld. I think we got a timeout. 30-second timeout called on the floor. Sean Barnett, electrical timeout. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
I'm Larry Gruber, longtime educator and St. Mary's wrestling coach. If you're in need for any electrical upgrades, whether big or small, for your business or home, reach out to Sean Barnett Electrical at 567-259-8343. Wondering what it would cost to have a generator for your home or business? Contact Sean Barnett Electrical for a complimentary estimate for installation and yearly maintenance. Trying to do electrical work on your own can be shocking and painful.
Wow!
I'm in Sean's corner, and Sean will be in yours for all your electrical needs.
They're not forced to defend that at all.
3:59 remaining in the basketball contest. 29-23 on the American Legion scoreboard. The Parkway Lady Panthers on top. Lady Riders have only scored 3 points in this entire half to this point. We'll see if they can get things rolling in the final 3:45. Skip pass goes over to Henschen. Rabel drives the paint, goes up, and it is blocked.
Riders are very frustrated offensively.
Yep.
Give a lot of credit to Parkway's defense. They played good defense, good help side. They're very physical and strong.
Ball loose, whistle foul. It's going to be called on Lady Panthers. I believe it's going to be called on Cammie Langenkamp. Yeah, her second. Team's third. Sophia Minker with the basketball. She'll be picked up by Bryn Brunn. She'll give it over to Hirschfeld. Rabel.
Unfortunately, the icy offense, the icy shooting is not allowing St. Mary's to get into their full court press, which was their most effective offensive weapon in the first half. So it's kind of, the offense has compounded itself.
Sophia Minker for three. No, but will not go. Hughes has the rebound. Well, we saw that in the first quarter when Parkway had the 3 turnovers and the Rough Riders were able to score 3 quick baskets and then get into that press real quick to force another turnover.
Yeah, their cold shooting has neutralized their defensive advantage.
Probably with 2.5 minutes left.
They're going to have to get in the
they need
scramble,
to get more aggressive.
trapping. Going to have to trap in the half court, try to speed Parkway up. They can't allow them to just throw the ball around and get it to the bigs.
Which they look very intent to do.
Here comes Miller to Bruns. Bruns has a 3-point shot. She's not going to take it. They're going to run some clock.
Yeah.
They're going to spread the floor a little bit, make the Rough Riders come out.
Got a 6-point lead in a game, 6-point lead in a game where they've only scored in the 20s. That's equivalent of
a quarter of their points.
It's equivalent of a double-figure lead in a normal game.
Right. And we've got a whistle and foul. It's going to be on Rabel. Second team foul.
Bruns is grabbing her leg. She's coming off of a stress fracture in volleyball that forced her to miss most of the first game. She only played 3 minutes in their first game, and now she's favoring that leg. This is a golden opportunity. I mean, I hate for her to get injured, obviously, but it's a golden opportunity for St. Mary's. I would be going into a full court rat defense here, scramble, trap everywhere. They're just lost their starting point guard.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do. They double team
I would
Hughes.
scramble. I'd trap everything. Constant. You got to get them. They have no point guard on the floor.
Foul on Minker.
It's okay. We have another foul to give. Keep fouling, grabbing, reaching.
Well, she's running off the floor. Britton Brunn. She's headed. I think maybe she's got a cramp.
For her sake, hopefully so, and that isn't a stress fracture.
Well, when she went to the bench, I saw her grab her toe and pull it back. So
yeah, that's classic anti-stretch tactic.
Exactly. So she just may have got a cramp. Keep in mind, she didn't play much of the first game, so really she's played the entire ball game here. She's probably not in game shape.
I'm guessing hasn't practiced a lot
yeah.
either, so she's probably getting some muscle fatigue. That calf cramp's not a fun thing.
No, it's not.
Keep trapping Riders.
Parkway's not even looking to shoot the ball. They're just throwing it around, making the Riders chase it. 1:23 remaining in the ball game, and we've got a whistle and a foul. It's going to be called on Lauren Jacobs, I believe. You see it there on our Jackalope Stash instant replay. As I think the Lady Panthers are tickled to death, sit on this 6-point lead and just pass the ball around and run the Riders ragged.
Fifth foul.
And get an easy basket. A lot of times you get a run and you've got somebody standing under the basket by themselves.
Fifth foul. The quarter is going to result in 2 free throws here for the Panthers.
Bryn Shane Levin misses the first. She'll get one more. Here comes, this is good to see. Britton Bruns back in the ball game.
Parkway has several people during the game that did not look good shooting the free throws. So this may be your best strategy at this point, late. Foul her again. Foul her right now.
But you can't give back a rebound off the free throw. But they're going to put her back on the line again. Hirschfeld picks up her third personal foul, Ryder's fifth. And that one bounced up and got a Parkway bounce and went through. Shane Levin will get one more. 7-point lead.
Boy, Ryder's only have mustered three meager points in the whole second half.
This is Parkway's biggest lead of the ball game.
Ryder's going to have to get something up quick.
Menker
that was partially blocked.
Won't go. Rebound.
Browns.
And we've got a jump ball. It'll be St. Mary's ball underneath their own basket. 1:06 remaining.
Riders are going to have to get some quick offense and then go quickly into a trapping defense, and if they don't get a steal, foul immediately. Riders need a bunch of possessions to try to make up this gap.
Shot up, won't go. Rebound comes right into the hands of Adria Miller.
Go ahead and foul. Try to get a steal and foul.
And Lauren Jacobs does just that. We're under a minute at 56.6 seconds remaining. You see it there in the upper right-hand portion of your screen.
Britton Bruns has only scored 4 points tonight, but that does not indicate her value to Parkway's team. She's a shutdown defender. She has held Sophia Menker to 4 points, who's normally averages 15, and Bruns
she got 4 assists.
4 assists. She's
3 steals.
Bruns hits the first, gets the second.
She's my MVP of the game.
10-point lead by the Panthers, largest of the game. Sophia Menker launches a three. Nope, will not go. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Panthers. And if the Lady Riders are going to put the Panthers at the line and they continue to hit free throws, it's going to end up a bigger deficit than it actually was in this ball game.
Yeah, it's going to look like a blowout game.
Reese Rabel from almost midcourt. Cammie Langenkamp goes out. Callie Bolenbacher checks in.
Riders desperately need a couple quick turnovers like we had in the first half. Get a quick burst of points. Trapper. Parkway's doing a much better job of maintaining their composure in the second half.
Foul's going to be on Reese Rabel. That'll send Megan Hughes to the line.
Parkway kind of panicked in the first half. I think probably caught off guard maybe a little bit with a couple of those traps. But I've noticed really in the second half done a really nice job of stepping through all of those traps.
Using their strength.
Yeah, going through them. They're obviously well drilled on that. That's something you got to practice.
Now the lead stretches to 11.
Big girl's got a nice touch. She has a nice, well-rounded game. Nice sophomore. She'll be one of the better players in the area the next couple of years.
She's probably been in the gym since she was able to walk.
Yep. Going to Dad's practices every night.
Oh.
Probably had some one-on-one battles with Mom in the driveway.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm not sure I'd want to battle with Mom in the driveway.
I don't think so. Did you happen to see Mom down below? She's obviously here.
I did not
I would think she would be here.
I'm sure I would think.
Britton Bruns at the line. We spotted her. (35-23). We've got a timeout called. Is it timeout? No.
I think just sub Menker out.
Oh, okay. Well, how'd they get the ball back down here?
They hit her with a flagrant.
Oh, okay.
I think she step over.
Traveling violation on
I think that's
Bruns.
what
She stepped over when she was on the ground.
I'm guessing that's what they hit her for.
Don't want to lead to any. Sometimes that move can lead to tensions. We don't want a Ohio State Michigan game.
Yeah.
Post game melee out here. Broadcasting legend Ralph Guarneri would have started the bus.
Absolutely.
Tonight you need to start the bus early. Get it warmed
up. 13 seconds remaining, all alone. Shot put up and is missed by Callie Bolenbacher. Claire Turner down to 2. Long shot put up by Davis. That's the horn. That's the end of the ball game. The final score on the American Legion scoreboard: the Parkway Lady Panthers 35, the Lady Riders of St. Mary's 23. We'll come back. We'll take a look at some stats, and we'll wrap things up from Grand Lake Health Systems Court right after this.
The St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation is proud to support St. Mary's athletics. We invite you to become a member of the Alumni Foundation by checking out our website at www.mhsaf.com or checking us out on Facebook. Good luck, Riders.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet.
And you're live.
Alrighty, back at Grand Lake Health Systems Court, Joe Hurlbert alongside Mike and Derek J. Before we get into taking a look at some of the numbers in the ballgame, I want to remind everybody that on Thursday, Rider Nation Station will be here to bring you boys wrestling as the boys wrestling team takes on the Bath Wildcats. Next week, we have a full slate, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Of course, on Monday, we'll have bowling out at Varsity Lanes. The bowling team will take on Van Wert. And then next Tuesday and Thursday, we'll be back here with girls basketball. As on Tuesday, the girls take on Allen East. And on Thursday, they'll take on the Salina Bulldogs. That's our schedule for at least through next week. And we got a lot more going on for you in the month of December. Here, the Rough Riders lose it by a score of 35-23. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. Derek, wasn't pretty.
No, it's definitely looking at these stats, it's not tough to see why the Lady Riders lost. Obviously only scoring 23 points, big problem. It was at times a problem for them last year and kind of reared its ugly head here today. Riders led in scoring at 5 points with both Claire Turner and Lauren Jacobs. The two leading scorers on the season, Sophia Menker, Reese Rabel, both double-digit averages coming into the game. Both score 4 points. Combined 3 of 21 from the field from those two. So just an offensive disaster there. Cadence Hirschfeld came in with 3 points, and then Audrey Reinecke scored 2. From the field, Riders 9 of 41 for 22%.
Ouch.
And then even worse, from 3, 4 of 25 for 16%. If my memory serves, I think they were 4 of 13 in the first half, so that means 0 of 12 in the second half from 3. And really, I thought, not just statistically, but from watching the game, their quality of shot in the second half got significantly worse. The threes that they were taking were further away, more contested, and just not great shots. Free throws, just two free throws. Again, not getting into the lane enough. Turnovers, somewhat better, but still way too many at 17. And 23 total rebounds. Again, Sophia Menker leading the team with 7. Parkway, with those 35 total points, were led in scoring by Megan Hughes, 12 points. She did end up with a double-double, 12 points, 11 boards. Next in scoring was Britton Bruns, 7 points. Kind of had a little bit of a Draymond Green game. 7 points, 4 assists, 4 steals, 3 rebounds. Doing just a little bit of everything, and obviously playing great defense, especially on Sophia Menker. Bryn Shane Leben also with 7, Callie Bolenbacher with 5, Colby Smith and Adria Miller both with 2 points. Parkway was 12 of 38 from the field, 31%, and just 3 of 10 from 3, so not taking too many. Got a lot of interior shots. 8 of 14 from the lines for 57%. The offensive rebounding Riders did kind of clean that up in the second half. Parkway ended up with 8 total offensive rebounds, but they did out-rebound the Riders in total. And then really no other significant stats, but just, the shot quality between Parkway and St. Mary's, I think, was the biggest thing.
With the win, Parkway now improves to 1-1 on the season. They'll be next in action Thursday when they travel to the Vatican in Delphus, Ohio, to take on the Blue Jays. That'll be their first MAC game of the year. With the loss, St. Mary's drops to 2-2 overall. They are 1-0 in the WBL with their win over Elida. St. Mary's will be next in action also Thursday. They get back into WBL play. They're traveling to the Bathtub in Lima, Ohio. JV game time is 6 p.m. So follow the Riders if you'd like to, and hope they can pick up a win and go to 2-0 in the WBL.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for Rider Nation Station here at Grand Lake Health Systems Court. For our crew, Doug Spencer, Rich Spencer, Kelly J on camera, Logan Yelton with the replay, my colleagues Derek and Mike J. I'm Joe Hurlbert. Once again, the final score. The Parkway Lady Panthers 35, the St. Mary's Lady Rough Riders 23 from Grand Lake Health Systems Court. Until next time, so long, everyone.